Hello there, YouTube family. Life's a Game once again coming to you guys right now with another video. I know that you must have seen my most recent video regarding the legendary rogues with random agents, the 2 random agents with 9 directives. I was just proving how the summit is just a watered down version. Legendary summits is a watered down version of legendary missions. I'm pretty sure that went over well. So with this video right now, we're just kind of going through. It's the same 2 random agents, I believe, but we're going through the summit. I'm just further showcasing how the summit is just a watered down version of legendary missions. The legendary summit is. We're tackling 8 directives respectively right now, and you're seeing these guys are randoms. Like once I don't know them. Once again, touching off from the other video, and we're just running through a bit of legendary summit here. I did touch on and tell you guys in my last video with the rogues how to go about doing legendary summit, more or less saying that if you're new to legendary summit, if you're one of the newer agents to legendary summit, that's where you'd want to start off with legendary content. Like if you're like new to legendary, is what more or less what I meant to say. Like you'd want to start off in the legendary summit. I know I touched on that earlier before, but this is just showcasing that because you're seeing right here how I can go with a complete random group of agents, and complete the summit with various directives on. So if I can do this, if I can do like a 9 directive legendary rogues, if I can defeat legendary rogues with 9 directives with 2 random agents, not even a full party, what do you think would happen if I had like a coordinated teammate, just like a coordinated clan mate or something like that? If I was part of a clan group, that's what I mean. So it just shows you the less rigor of legendary summit as opposed to legendary missions with 3 to 4 directives. Like when I went through Manning Zoo, like with 4 directives, that was way harder than anything I've ever been in the summit. Even though it was legendary rogues that I fought with 9 directives, the legendary Manning was just on a complete different level with 4 directives than anything that was in here. So it's just, I just did that video, so that's just to prove that, because I said I would. And yeah. Anyway, moving on. In this video, we're doing legendary summit with 8 directives with randoms. And instead of rambling on about that, I think I already hammered my point home more or less. I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of go ahead and talk about how to run legendary summit now. Don't mind the directives. I understand there's 8 directives on. You guys definitely do not have to run it with this, but this will just give you a genuine idea of like how to do it, how to run it. Don't be mistaken, I do have a tailored build. This is the same build that I did use during my Manning Zoo 4 directive run, so there is that. I did use that build, but I kind of just invited the random agents. I kind of just told them, hey, just come along. We're going to be doing the summit with 9 or 10 directives. Even if you're not, one of the players even said they weren't that well. Invictus, I believe, said he wasn't that well, but he left. I'm noticing now on the screen, I believe, I don't know, sometimes some agents leave mid, but he was only 97 shades, so, you know how that goes. But it's tough, like, like they at the same time they're learning, but it's like, it can be tough content, but going back to what I was saying earlier, I was just inviting them, saying that, hey, even if you're not that well of an agent, and I believe Invictus did say that, he's saying more or less he wasn't geared that well. I was like, it didn't matter really though. I was like, you could still come, because usually if you guys are familiar with me, which I'm sure you are, in my last and some of my most recent videos before of running legendary missions, the players running with me and the agents running with me would have to be well geared. I would not just get any random agent to run a 4 directive legendary mission, because like I said, it's vastly different. It wouldn't be of any help if they weren't geared. They go down very quick. It wouldn't be of any use. So like I said, you have to be geared right. But I knew right away that with this, with the build here, with my nice build I have here, nice godly build that I have here, I knew that I could carry like whoever like came. Like I knew that I could. I wouldn't want to just say carry, but I knew that I could like highly lead him. Like I knew there wouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be that big of a problem. And we should be able to get it done. Considering my know-how and my expertise and how I play this game and my builds, I just knew that it shouldn't be a problem. And as you're seeing within this respective video, you're gonna find that it's not really that much of a problem. You know, as time goes on for us to like do this, I mean, you'll see some key spots here and there. Legendary is always exciting, no matter how you cut the cake, even if it is a watered down version. But yeah, it's like it's always fun like to be able to run it, be able to run legendary and just, you know, just be able to focus on what you need to focus on. I can't touch on the thing I was saying earlier. I just lost my train of thought, but it is what it is. I know it'll come back. But what you want to do, you see like how they're pushing up right now? What you want to do is you want to keep back. See, I'm kind of near the door because what they try to do, mostly in Legendary, the enemies, they'll try and push up on you, like in order to get around you, so that you'll turn your back and all the other meats behind you, like that were originally in front of you, that are now going to be behind you once you turn around to shoot the other enemy that's trying to walk behind you. They're going to light you up. They're going to light you up and you're going to die like quick. And that's like one of the tactics that you're going to see here pretty soon. One of the enemies, I believe this medic, he attempts to do that very thing here. And luckily we cleared a lot of the enemies out in the other room, in the prior room, so we don't have to worry about it. So you see how he just keeps running up? Like, he doesn't stop, he just keeps going upward. That's like one of the tactics I noticed they use in Legendary to like get you off guard. They want you to kind of like turn around so that the other enemy can light you up or blast you. And it's happened with me many times. It can be frustrating at times when it happens, but when you distance yourself and you position yourself well, it's definitely something you don't have to worry about. You could always have more of the further ground on them, which is why I always say patience and distance in Legendary, because they're always pushing up to try and get you in that sense. But yeah, so as I said, you want to always keep distance. But Summit, the thing was with Summit, you guys being like the newer agents I want to talk to that are new to Legendary, and the ones that are like, you know, even if you're not new to Legendary, even if you're struggling with it, the Summit is a good key place to start, because it's like a mixture of like all like the tense moments in Legendary, in a sense. The close quarters, the fast movement, the pushing, the rushing, the you know, the drone spam in a small space. Like, if you can move really well in here and dodge a lot of the attacks of the enemy, you're gonna be able to utilize that very well in missions. It just gets you ready for that, like on that level, of that sense. So it's like yeah, don't get me wrong, like I said, when I say Summit's a watered down version of Legendary, I mean like for instance, like the enemies hit like the enemies in Legendary missions hit harder than the ones here. But as far as the drone movement and all that stuff, and the way the drones move and all that, and the way they spam them, and the way they come, the Summit is this Legendary is the same as the missions, actually. So like, as far as how the skills of the Legendary AI move, like when they do a turret or something like that, or when they send a drone after you or anything like that, or grenade or anything like that, that's usually the same way in a mission. So they have that down, but the effect of it is not like a mission. I feel like the effect of it's stronger than a mission. Like, if a Legendary bomb hits you in here, it's not going to hurt as much as it would hurt you in a mission. It's just an experiment like I've done. Like, I've played these both for so long. It's like I could see the difference, and there's many agents that have actually agreed with me on my statement here. Like, when I say that, they're like, I can see exactly what you mean. Because a few of the agents that I've played with have said that they started actually in the Summit before they started Legendary. Like, they kind of like would come in here and just run some builds and just see how they could run. And once they were like comfortable with the build running in here, and they knew that they could run in here comfortably with any team, that's when they took it to Legendary, went to like District Union Arena Legendary, and they started like, you know, getting wins and stuff. You know, whether or not they beat all the Legendary missions, I'm not sure. But like I said, they said that they're productive in Legendary, and like now, more so than before they could, you know, run in the Summit. Run Legendary Summit. So I think Legendary Summit's just that testing ground for you to see, can you do the Legendary missions, or is that build really viable enough to do a Legendary mission? And if it can do the Summit, or like control the Summit, then you are more or less ready to actually contribute positively in a Legendary mission. And I just say contribute positively because in order to win a Legendary mission, there's a lot that goes into it. So what I mean by contribute positively is just you'll be learning like the ropes. Like, you can contribute in a team to help them win. But it's never guaranteed. A win is never guaranteed in Legendary. That's the thing. It can change at any moment. It's never guaranteed, but you know, you just want to do your best, have your best build, and yeah. As long as like your build works and you know how to move and you know how to fight, it can work in a legendary mission. So as you're seeing here, it's a close quarters in the summit. It's close quarters. They put the little heal boxes on, so it gives you just a little bit of practice for the missions. They put the heal boxes down. You can see how much damage you can respectively still give them with the heal box up and enabled. What you'll find is if you can still take the enemy out even with the heal box up, that's just like a huge thing when you think about it. Because if the heal box is up and you can take the enemy out, it shows you that your DPS is really up there, especially in legendary or the summit. It shows you that you're really doing damage to them. Not saying it's a bad thing if you have to take the box out, but as long as you can take out the box is hefty damage as well. It has a lot of health, so it just shows you where your DPS is at. It's like a check in a sense of legendary. It's like a test run to see if you're ready like to run like missions like that. So for those of you new agents out there, just be wary of that. I know there's a lot of random agents that will just go and just jump into a legendary mission or a type of content, and they think that it's just a step up from heroic. It's like more or less like 10 to like 15 steps up from heroic. It's like it's in the sense of just the know-how. Like with heroic, it's just the builds. Like if you have key builds like in heroic, you can be like not even like the best agent, not even really know the mechanics the best, but you can still get by and kill like a lot of enemies. But in legendary, if you don't know the game know-how, you don't really know the mechanics or structure of like your team and stuff, you're gonna just go down. There's no in between or anything like that. So I think that that's just one of the an important aspect of it to consider when you're running legendary. Okay, so we're moving up here. Let me see, room 65. We're on floor 65. Okay. Let's see, you always want to keep you always want to just keep aware. You kind of opened the door there a little quick. I didn't realize he opened it from when I was inside the room there, but yeah. So when these, I find a lot of agents usually say they don't like drones, like when the drones come like this, because if the DPS isn't there fully, then it can be a huge problem, the drones, but I feel for the most part, you guys just keep back from them and can fight. You'll be okay. But something I stressed already in the summit earlier is that instead of keeping patient and distant, it's kind of hard to do that in the summit because it's so close quarters, as you'll see here. I would love to keep distant and patient against these guys, but considering I have to take the area with the laptop, I have to hack the terminal, I gotta be here. So you're gonna see how they just start surrounding me. I'm like, okay. There's a few of them behind me. I'm thinking I can hold this one off. I can get a little bit more cover, so it's a dodge there. But like I said, it can get hectic, and it could sometimes be troubling to know how exactly to move. Sometimes you have to test the area. Obviously, we don't have the mini map to help, but testing the area and just knowing it helps out a lot. That's a lot of the time something will really make some of those last minute maneuvers and whatnot. It's just like knowing where to move and where things most likely might be, just to give you the best chance of surviving. Because you can go down for sure at any second, if you're not careful. So if you're in a summit, for those of you new agents, and you see any of these drones everywhere, you kind of want to just take them out. If I had more of a quicker gun, I think I do have the mechanical animal, but I just wasn't utilizing it here because I wanted my shield in order to not take damage in case they were shooting me, because these guys can hit pretty hard if they do hit you. But it's let me see, yeah, I was honing in on it or something wow, yeah, the Liberty can hit pretty good from this distance. I didn't realize that. Sometimes you see that sometimes watching this, I get I'll see other things that I didn't even notice when I was playing. Yeah, the Liberty, I know it's a pistol, but yeah, it hits pretty good. I don't know if it can hit from that distance like that sometimes, but I guess if you get the aim precise, you'll get him. But yeah, usually with those drones, I'll use the mechanical animal, but I just didn't really want to get hit much by the drones, which is why I had the shield. And usually I'd use that and keep at a distance, but like I said, in the Legendary Summit, you can't really keep at a distance. You got to do it all in close quarters. So I just want you to kind of just pay attention to the video and the way I'm moving, when you have to be in close quarters, because there's a way you have to move and there's a way you have to see the floor depending on what's going on. You definitely don't want to push. That's definitely not something that you want to do. when playing anything legendary, you just don't want to push too much or rush unless you necessarily need to. Like in this case, we had to hack the terminal, so you had to push. We had to push in that instance, but I'm saying if you don't need to, don't do it, because it makes things a lot more hectic than they need to be, which could lead to devastating wipes for sure. And I've seen a lot of groups do that. I was with various agents that that happened with, like in the past. So it's like, even now, like it could happen. Like like you do something wrong, you wipe at a certain portion that you shouldn't have, and it's just because you push a little bit, or you went too fast, or you didn't consider it, and that could of course, me as a content creator, that could just it wastes a lot of time at times for me to wipe. That's why I do my best not to, because when I do that, if that would happen, I'd have to run the content again. Therefore, something that's supposed to take 45 minutes to like an hour, possibly, or maybe 30 minutes, ends up taking an hour and a half to 2 hours, and you don't want that, because time is valuable. You want to use your time well. I enjoy my time. I want to use my time well. It's not bad to wipe, of course. It's not something like the most negative thing. You learn from it. It's obviously one of the biggest learning experiences, wiping. But at the end of the day, you want to get it right. At the end of the day, anybody wants to get it right. Nobody wants to die and then have to redo the entire thing again. It can get repetitive, and then it can get like I've seen a lot of Asians quit the game and turn it off after like a wipe. It can be frustrating, so you don't want it to be like that. So you want to just make sure your build's on par, you're paying attention, you're watching everything. So these guys are all the way over here, and they do have special ammo, which is what keeps disrupting my shield. That's such an annoying directive, but you know what? It comes with the territory. But you want to be watching. See, that guy doesn't even have health. I don't even know why the game does that sometimes. Sometimes they'll have the AI there, the enemy there, and they have no health, and they're still standing there shooting at me. I'm like, I think there was one point, I guess, in this mission where I nearly died via the drones, where I didn't have any, but that's like rare. Like, and I believe I had like an inch of health. Like, these guys, you'll see like nothing on the bar, somehow they're still standing there. I'm like, what? But this game, it'll pull a lot of things for the enemy on legendary. But you see, like, that's one of the reasons why I say don't push up, because the enemy, it has bombs there. They have bombs, and they shot it, and lo and behold, my teammate went down. The reason for that is, like, the AI can spam those nades, and whenever one of those nades hits you, like, it takes off so much. Those grenades, like, they do, like, a lot. Those bombs. So that's why I emphasize just not pushing up too much unless you have to. And you're seeing with Belphegor 666 there that he the enemy definitely got him, like, in that sense. And they did have special ammo, especially with them having special ammo. It's funny. But on that note, I'm saying that you definitely don't want to get in front of them with that, because even if you have a shield, it will just disrupt it. Unless you tailor your shield in a way that it won't do that. There are builds for that, of course, to be able to do that. Definitely still need to utilize one like that. But there are builds for sure that do that. But in this case, I wouldn't want to be in front of them. You would kind of want to pick your spots if they do happen to be in front of me, and I don't have, like, too much leeway to, like, move out the way. You want to pick your areas against them. You want to definitely pick your spots, and that's one of the main things about legendary. A lot of the times, I might not say it, guys, but like when I'm running it, I'm picking my spots mostly. Like, it's like I'll come into a room, I might not emphasize it or say it, but I'm seeing the area, I'm seeing where the enemy's coming out, and I'm seeing where would be the best possible place to be at, considering what's going on. Like, you see how the dog started coming around right there? I started walking backwards. I'm like, if he's trying to get behind me, with my teammate being down, I don't know, like, if there's any other enemies trying to come through the door, So he's trying to get my back to the door. So it's like, I'm like, okay, that's not going to happen, so I'm going to back up. In order to force him to either go to the left, since I was on the right, or circle back around, which he did. You kind of, when you do that, you kind of put the enemies on their heels. The ball's more or less in your court. Like, you can kind of dictate how the enemies move, in a sense, in this game sometimes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's weird, but sometimes, like, if you kind of back up or you kind of go in a certain direction in the room, it'll prompt the enemy to move in a certain way sometimes. Unless they're just pressing you. Some of them just press you just to blow your head off, like, I mean, completely. And they're just pressing you sometimes. So it's like, but for the most part, when you're moving a certain way and you want like an enemy to move a certain way, if you don't have a grenade, sometimes just moving a certain way, doing something will allow them to move in a certain way because they're assuming you're going to do something. So it's like, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you'll see it. You'll see glimpses of it if you watch me like closely in certain rooms. But yeah. So this is, for the newer agents, of course, for you guys out there and the ones, of course, that are struggling. It's tailored more to these agents, this video, but anybody can really, view it and hope you guys enjoy it. But it's just for you guys to see that in close quarters that this is how you kind of handle it more. You might find yourself dying a little much in missions. You might be like, why do I keep going down so often in missions? You might have a great build, your build's good, or you're feeling that it's good. And you're thinking, why am I going down? If you come inside the summit and you run legendary, you'll probably figure that out. Most likely, 90% of the time, you'll figure it out within the first few rooms. What's wrong, like with the build? What's going on? Is it strong? Is it strong enough? Is it as strong as you're saying it is? Is it just that you're not moving right? You're not moving the tactics right? You need to learn how to move more, like in and out of the rooms. You'll figure it out because that's why I say it's a standing ground for legendary, the summit, because you'll figure out what you need to do. Like before I even did legendary Manning Zoo 4 directives, I used this build in the summit by myself with like, I think it was like 6 directives, I believe. 6 or 7 directives, I think. And I did it. I think I have a video on it. I was doing it, and I realized that the build was dominant. I was like, you know what? I've been trying to get through them, Tidal Basin and Manning Zoo legendary. I ran Manning Zoo once before legendary, before running it the second initial time in which I prevailed with it. Yeah, like that last time I didn't have this build, so I was like, I need a build that can get through that, that can do that. So I was like, I used the summit as my testing ground with directives to give me an idea what the build could do. And it was very dominant, and it very much took that into Manning Zoo legendary at 4 directives. It took it into that, although I still had to move more and I still have to apply more damage to them during the mission. Since once again, yeah, this is not the same. Summit is not the same as the missions, but and that just shows because using this build, it was still like a battle in legendary Manning Zoo 4 directives, even though it was still a battle using this build. And you're seeing me use this build. You actually just saw me in my last video use this build and beat 9 directive legendary rogues in the summit. So that's just showing you the difference between the missions, like I said. But like I also said, is that if the build more or less works in here and you can like more or less dominate in here, like the summit on legendary, and you can dominate it with directives, you're ready for a legendary mission. It's more or less telling you what you can do. If you can dominate it, and I mean like control it with directives, you're more or less ready for a legendary mission with like a few directives. Like say if you could do this like with 9 or 10 directives, I'd say you could battle or take on a legendary 4 directive mission or a 5 directive mission. Legendary 5 directive mission possibly, or a 4 directive mission. If you can do about 9 to 10 directives in here, or 8 to 10. 8 to 10. If you can do around that, 7 to 10 ish, 7 to 10. Just be like lenient. You can handle a legendary mission with 3 to 4 directives, 3 to 5 directives. I'm telling you guys, yeah, that's no easy feat. Which is why you definitely don't see too many YouTubers attempt that legendary missions with directives on, like more than three directives on those missions, because it's tough. I believe District Union Arena has been done with 5 directives multiple times. Capitol Hill, I'm not sure, maybe, but I know I've done Capitol Hill, DUA, Roosevelt, and Manning with 4 directives. All of those legendary, I've done them all. My last one's Tidal Basin 4 directives. That one's coming. Stay tuned. But yeah, there's a reason for that, why a lot of people don't attempt that, because it's different. It's different from, it's definitely different from the Summit. I've seen so many runs on the Summit. I've seen people do 8 directives in the Summit. I've seen people do 10 directives in the Summit. I've seen people do all sorts of stuff. I've seen people solo 9 directives in the Summit. Yeah, like you'll see some things. I've seen it all like in the Summit, which is why I say the Summit plays more like a test run for what you're getting ready to do. If you're getting ready to try and do something crazy like in legendary missions, like you want to put all the directives on, for instance, and try it that way. You want to do 4 like I did, have at it. But yeah, I'm just saying, like I think the summit's just a good test ground, honestly. So moving forward, though, since we're moving forward right now, we've done a few rooms. What we're gonna do, what I want to discuss more or less right now, is just how to move. I'm not sure if you guys have been seeing how I've been moving, but if you're just paying attention to that, you'll see it. What am I saying in the comment section down there? Oh, I'm kind of telling them the summit's watered down version of mission level legendary. Okay, so it's just me and this guy. Notice, I don't know how long we've been going through this. It's just me and him. 8 directives. See, like, yeah, 8 directives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's just showing you more or less. This is the random agent, guys. I don't know this guy from anything, from Adam, nothing. Like, I totally do not know who he is. Great agent, good agent, playing well. Don't know him. You know, so this is just showing you that, hey, you can come into this complete random person, as long as you're on the same page, and get this done with up to 8 directives. So that's showing you like up to 8 to 10 directives, however you want it. You saw me with the 9 with the rogues. It could be done. So it's like, and those were randoms too. One was between shade 90 and 100. They were shade 97, if I'm not correct. So it's like, if that can be done with a teammate like that in this, this can be done for sure. That definitely would not work at all within a legendary mission. That wouldn't work at all. Considering like the shade and all that stuff and the gear that they had, that wouldn't fly at all in that. But in the summit, it can, which is why I say it's a testing ground. Like, it's a way of being able to test legendary out. So there's that. I just want you to kind of pay attention to what and how, also, not just what we're using, but how we're gonna move. Because like I said, the builds matter a little more in the missions. They do matter here, don't get me wrong. Anytime it's on legendary, it matters. But we're just working up the floors right now. We're working up the floors. So hope you guys are doing well, by the way. Always great having you guys here. I love this commentary. I don't just talk just to talk on. I hope you're enjoying this commentary. I'm really thoroughly thinking about this when I do it. I'm trying to offer the best advice to you guys in order to ensure that you get the best out of the game, in order to come to the best, like, success within the game. So that's my goal. So that's what we're doing. Showcase this. The reason we're showcasing what we're showcasing here. So we're on floor 67. It's just me and my teammate. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you see I'm backing out here? I'm kind of just creating that space. Like, I don't want it to be too close. You see how he's coming with the grenades, everything. There's a lot of other enemies out here. Robot dog. I sent my drone after that, just to distract that. It's always good to have a skill like that you can send after these guys, because a lot of times they like to camp out on legendary. Like, so much they love to camp out. They just like camping out like that. And it can become such a nuisance, them doing it, because they'll do that while launching nades like that, or spamming drones like to the fullest. So it's like, you just don't want that to happen. And with a medic, oh man, it's even worse, because then they put the healer box down. As I'm sure you'll see here later on, possibly. But yeah, you want to just keep distance right here. See how I'm moving around the room? You want to keep distance. You want to keep a perimeter on the room. Notice I do not have the mini map. I did mention the mini map in my capital building legendary run. I did notice how I use the mini map to be able to just go in and out, and I did touch on and say I use the mini map. By using the mini map, it would more or less get you ready for not using it. Meaning, you'll more or less, by using the mini map a lot and seeing how the enemies move, it'll basically teach you and dictate to you how they're gonna move when the mini map's not there. So that's kind of more or less what I'm relying on. You're seeing a full demonstration of that within this very video right here. You guys are watching. You're seeing a very full demonstration of that very same statement I made a few videos back about being able to dictate the enemy's movements based off of knowing them when you're when you have the mini map available, enemies available on there. Okay, so he died right there, a little close in a bad spot. Not the worst spot. My bad. I was just saying that he pushed a little more. He died. And I kept telling Belphegor here to just keep like kind of distance, like kind of don't go too far in, like just keep around the area. See there, I said don't push, just kind of scour the area and just look. You don't have to go in or nothing like that. Just chill You see the grenade guys there, dodge the grenade, you know, let him shoot at the wall. This is the cover, perfect area to stand in right here. Just teaches you how to move, see what I mean, during a legendary like close quarter combat. It's a way to move. It's the same way a lot of the PvPers, like we'll talk about, oh, like when you go to the dark zone or conflict, there's a certain way. You got to move in and out and zigzag and strife and whatnot or whatever. You have to know how to do that. It's the same thing with legendary. The way you play legendary, you have to know how to move in and out. You have to know the room. It's like breathing, like in a sense. I don't know. Like I guess it comes to me like that, but I'm saying you have to like just know the ins and outs of it. Like, and when you know that, that's how you know. Once you start knowing how to play it, that's when it's gonna seem like these videos you're seeing me do. It's gonna seem like that to you after a while. As far as the success rate, that can't be hard. But I'm saying as far as you being used to it, the rigor of it, it's going to be like you're going to get used to it. It's no different than like driving a car for the first time and then getting used to driving it. In a sense, you know, you still have to be careful. You can still crash, obviously. But you're there, though. You have enough knowledge to know, to be comfortable in there, and to know that even at whatever speed you're going, you're in control. Like, you know, most likely what's going on. So that's kind of the same thing with Legendary. It's like once you know how to run it like that, you'll know, and it won't be something you'll have to think about or be afraid of. You'll just be like, okay, they're pushing a little bit. Let's do this. Let's push up on them a little bit. You know, I feel like we're getting like the upper hand here, but not too much. Let's kind of stay distance. Let's kind of stay a little steady as we push. Fight off the back foot a little bit. You'll kind of just start to understand what all that means, like the more you run it. But it just takes time of running it. That's all. Everything takes time, guys. It's not going to be like a perfect run the first time. You're not going to get it all down the first time. So right here, you want to, like I said, just keep back. All these rooms are always going to be different in the summit, in a sense, like in a way. So I'm just trying to teach you overall in general how to play it. See the doors there. I'm just scanning, looking, seeing. You know, obviously I can't use a mini map. Just scanning, looking, seeing. Is there anybody to the right? Okay, nobody's to the right. The left. I'm moving to the left more so, but I did clear that out. I should have kind of turned. See, that's why I critique myself. I should have kind of turned a little to the left, because if there was an enemy to the left of there, that most likely probably wouldn't have ended well for me there, because I didn't look. But I think I already had known already from if I were to like go back, or if you guys like were to rewind the video, I'm sure I saw something that prompted me to do that, because usually I don't move like that without, you know, looking in the direction. Of course, with the mini map not being there to signal it. But yeah, like for instance, this guy, you know, see my teammate ran that way. I'm not sure if he saw him. He came back in. But yeah, these guys will peek up and sneak up behind you, so you always got to be watching. And that's a nice thing. I'm gonna tell you guys this. Here's a key pointer. You see how he put out the turret there, and how I have this striker drone. And apart from them being great DPS alternatives as skills, you can use them. You can utilize them. Another way you can use them when the mini map's out there, you can use them as a form of the mini map. Because here's the thing. Wherever these enemies are hiding at, they could all be behind stuff. If you take out your drone or your turret and place it, it's going to point in the direction of where an enemy's at, whether you saw them or not. It's going to eventually point where they're at. So it's like these weapons, in a sense, could be used as a map. And that's what I mean when I say in a sense of just, you'll start to learn things in Legendary, or like, and also as far as like just not using the mini map, like, and knowing how the mini map operates, and like knowing where the enemies are. So like I think all that meshes all into one, like in that sense. So it's like yeah, I think that just being able to utilize knowing where the enemies move on the mini map when it's showing, definitely gets you ready for. That's just another example how it gets you ready for like when you don't have it. That's just another key example, guys. Just food for thought there. Okay, so we're back here. I think he was saying his game was a bit laggy. I don't know. I think it could have been. You know, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, they usually say that. It's kind of funny because I think during this run, actually, as you'll see down the road, you'll see the I believe another agent says the same thing, so I don't know if it's my thing or if that's just the word to say when you're going down a lot. I don't know. I have no clue, but either way, I was trying to just kind of let, no matter how much you go down, it's not even about that. It's just the learning experience of doing it. It's nothing to be embarrassed, nothing to be ashamed of, nothing like that at all. I mean, nobody's expecting you to come on here. I'm not expecting you to come on my team and play this like Superman or something, or play the same way I'm playing or something, or better. I'm not expecting that for you guys to come on here and do that. Or to go on your platforms and do this for your teams. All I'm telling you to do is just consider more like, the distance of the enemies and just how you play. That's it. And if you do all these things, you put all these things together, I'm saying, respectively, like in the right way, you're gonna see the success come out. Like you're gonna be like, man, I see what they're talking about now. I see what Life's a Game is talking about now. I see whenever they say to do this and that, how that helps. I see like with this build that's lethal for me, I'm using the same strategies he's saying to play like, and I'm seeing success. Remember, I'm trying to not do my best to not just try and speak out of nowhere. Like, that's why I showed the build with the 9 directed rogues, legendary rogues in the last one. I'm trying to make a point. Like when I say these things, people sometimes think that, oh, these things could not be done, they're impossible, or that's hard. You might see somebody else on YouTube do something, like maybe, I don't know, 7 to 10 directives maybe in here, something along these lines, or what you saw me do, 9 directives with rogues, and think that it's just, oh, it's impossible. You have to know a certain person to do that. You have to be able to talk with a certain, nah, none of that stuff is needed at all. You just have to know the mechanics of the game. You could do that with complete randoms, as I showed, 100%. It's nothing over the treetops like that, what you're thinking. It's something that you guys could do, like a dedicated agent that puts the time in to the build and the know-how, the mechanics of the game, and like to do and the experience and actually run the missions. You're going to get better at it. Like there's no way you're not going to get better. So it's just, when you consider that, that's what it is. It's not about where you start, it's how you finish. It's how it goes. So if you guys, you new agents and new agents that are struggling with legendary content, I implore you to come on to Legendary Summit and run it and just get used to Legendary Summit. Get used to running Legendary Summit. Let Legendary Summit be something that's like normal for you. Like let it be something that's fun at a point. And then once you get there, you'll know that the next step is an actual live Legendary mission. Depending on how many success you've had with those, whether or not you've had the success there, I guess, is irrelevant. If you have, more power to you, props to that. But if not, it really, it's the same. It's the same thing, and you attempted it. Even if you didn't and you attempted it, props, power to you. But the thing is, in order to clean that up and get the results that you want, the first step, I'd say, respectively, like if you guys do follow me, or you believe anything that you guys do follow me, or you believe anything I say, is to come to the summit. If you're expecting to like win legendary and you really want to work on that, and you work on your game and all that, like getting it there and being used to it, the summit is the place to come. So I don't know how many times I reiterated that. The most, probably like the #1 broken record in the world. How many times I've said that? But I say it to say is because I'm saying it because I know it works. Like I know like your confidence will go up running this, beating this in legendary, a lot of things. It just gets you ready for that level of the legendary mission and exactly what you'll need, what that requires to win it. You'll start to get those perks and start understanding that. So yeah, as you're seeing here, not the best showcase. We should have gotten this medic out of here from time. He's still allowed to walk around, run around, dawdle around, and just play around. He's trying to revive other people. You never want that happening, mostly because that could really like turn like south quick if you're not on things. Luckily, I have a good build in this sense that can like handle like a lot of things. So it's like I can still account for that and deal with it, but at the same time, it's just a good thing. Well, he did have special ammo. I was almost gonna say it's a good thing he didn't have special ammo, but I just looked and realized he did actually. So you see what I mean? Like, things can go south like fast. Like something like as minimal as that could happen. So notice as soon as we killed him and the next wave came, notice though, I'm right here. I stayed back. I didn't run up. It is saying to secure the area. It is saying to capture the shade crate. I definitely understand that. I totally get that. But you gotta like this is one of those things I mean when I play legendary. When I say legendary, you kind of gotta bide your time and pick your spots. Meaning, just because there's something saying to do something doesn't mean you just run over there and do it. You gotta kind of look at the area and see when's the best time for you to move over there to kind of get that done. And while you're getting it done, still pay attention because you just know they always have some circus and magic coming, as you're seeing here. Every time that you're trying to get something done like this. So this is close quarters combat right here, legendary. This is what I mean. They're close. You see me trying to use these ledges near me. I do have my shield, but you see this little block right here? I'm trying to kind of distance myself between the crate. You see they're hitting. I got hit there. This is one of those hectic situations, you know. This is one of those situations. I'm like, where do you go? Where do you go? Okay, I gotta get out. So see, my initial thought there when I was going that way, from I was moving, was to retreat. I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this. Because if I stay here, they're moving from all sides, and that's just not a good spot to be in. And that's what I mean. Like, some teammates, like, will go, or some players, agents, you know, will go up there, and they won't know when to move out of there. Like, they'll stay there too long, and they won't realize that, hey, you gotta dip out of here. There are times when you can take the enemy out. And I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna say, you're gonna be listening to this and be like, how the heck am I supposed to know when I'm supposed to move out? You know, how do you even know that? You know, like, I've seen you stand there and kill people a lot of times in those situations. I've also seen you run out. How do you know? It's kind of just like one of those like little tingly things. I'm telling you, this comes with experience. Like, the more you do it, you'll just know. Like, I can't. It's hard to explain that specifically, but I guess the more you watch it or something, like, you'll just know like when it's there. And I didn't even have the mini map. I kind of just said I felt that, hey, they're kind of too close. I'm getting hit by things I'm not seeing. I think that's when you got to get out. And I think I might have answered myself there. I got hit by something I wasn't seeing. So I think here's the thing. If you're getting hit by things you're not seeing, and you're getting hit by bullets that are behind you and stuff, the best course of action to do in any situation like that is to retreat. I know it might seem hard to do that by being shot at. So the first step in order to do that would be to find like an area, a crate, something you can get behind for a second to be able to do like, while crouched down, you can hold A and do a fast jog or fast run. I usually do that from cover to cover, and what I notice when you do that, respectively, is that you move very quick, and it's very hard. I'm not going to say impossible, but the enemy is like 95% least likely to hit you. Least likely. Like, I noticed that. Like, if you... there's actually a short I have, I think, where I was the last man standing at Legendary Betting Zoo, and you're seeing me move back and forth. That short was literally just to showcase my movement. So if you go to that short, it's an older one involving Manning National Zoo, Legendary, and I was like the last one alive, and I was battling them and just maneuvering. And if you go ahead and go over there and watch that, you'll see how cover to cover like that, when you're moving like that, it moves faster. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but for those of you that might not happen to know it, yes, you do move faster cover to cover. Also, what I did find as well is that when you're running, if you only have the pistol equipped, you'll run faster too. I don't know how many of you knew that. Food for thought for those of you that made it this far in the video. But yeah, if you have a pistol and you put to run, as opposed to if you're just holding a regular gun, shotgun, or whatever AR it might be, you're running faster with the pistol, just for movement. Tested this out. I know for a fact, like, it is that I've been running past people in countdown via doing that. I've been caught up with people using assault rifle, and I'm just running normal, and they run fast. But as soon as I change to the pistol, I'm right next to them, neck and neck, or I'm passing them. So just food for thought. But moving along, you're seeing how it's getting hectic. You saw an enemy there, just try and get behind me. They try to use that behind tactic that I told you guys about earlier. The enemy will do that. I think the enemy is a lot smarter in Legendary, respectively, than a lot of agents and a lot of the community gives them credit for, because they do a lot of things. Like, a lot of these dogs, a lot of times when I don't have a build like this, they'll run up to me and press me a lot. But when I have this build, like, they'll usually run away and like shoot like back. And it's not only the drone, because there's other builds where I have this striker drone still, but I don't have the shield, and they will come up on me. But I notice when I have the shield, they kind of won't come up on me too much. So it's like they kind of know that, and if they do try and come up on me, they kind of try and go behind me, in a sense. Like, it's like they kind of try and get behind me or to flank me. So I think it's like the enemies kind of know I have a shield. So I'm like, I don't know. That's cool. I think that the AI, I think that the developers, the devs, they did an excellent, superb job with the AI in this game. I feel as far as like how they move. I think they can be very annoying, but I think very annoying AI just means that they're really good AI. Obviously, they're really good enemies. So I'm sure I'm definitely just as annoying to the enemies as they are to me. I'm sure a lot of you other elite agents out there, I'm sure the same thing. So it's always good to have a good enemy. You want to have a good, you want to have good AI and good people to battle against. Because like Ubisoft, their other recent game, the Star Wars Outlaws. Matter of fact, just jumping to that real quick. Let me see. Hold on, I'm writing something down here. See, he kind of said it. He said it to me without build. Belphegor, he kind of said, more or less, I said, hey, you're brave enough to run it. It don't really matter. You know, you're learning. GG's. It's always good for agents to come into this and learn. And just learn. It's always good for them to come in and learn. And never to feel discouraged. Never to feel discouraged. You never want to feel discouraged. Okay, I think I was touching on something, and I can't quite remember exactly what I might have been touching on earlier. But I think I was gonna say a point. I literally I don't know, it can slip my mind sometimes what I was gonna say or whatnot. But man, I'm not an advocate when that happens. Kind of miss the point you're trying to make, but yeah, I can't quite remember it. But it is what it is. The key thing I want you guys to get out of this video is just being able to fight the enemies at a distance while keeping like, you know, relatively close at the same time. You know, you don't want to be like too far off, obviously, if they have a medic, but yeah. Okay, he's climbing up here. Yeah, my aim was just off there. I don't know what I was shooting at there. Okay, so yeah, you just kind of want to just keep like, you want to keep distance. Don't want to rush too far in. It is a hectic place, like I said. Distance is very hard in this area. Notice I can't shoot the dogs because of we gotta destroy those servers. So that does happen. Let's see, we gotta stop those. We have 0 for 3. We haven't gotten any yet. But despite all the stuff, despite all the tasks that they want you to do, the best thing for you guys to do is just to keep your composure. Like, never like start pushing in too much or start getting hectic because you're thinking, we got to get these things out. There's absolutely no time limit on this right here. There are some things in the summit sometimes where there are time limits, and when that does come, then there is incentive to push. It could be protecting a hostage, as you guys saw earlier in the video. But yeah, you want to just, for the most part, keep back. You see, and they kind of start doing the spamming like a lot of the drones back there. You kind of want to just keep here and kind of just keep looking, keep on the lookout. You don't want to go too far in. See, obviously there's a dog right there behind me on that side. You want to like kind of just stand back and be able to, like, you know, observe. You know, you want to obviously be able to go back in the door. Obviously, John Wick, he went in there too fast and you got wicked real quick. And that's what I mean. If you push a little too fast, I mean, he kind of joined us afterward. If you push a little fast, that can happen. Yeah, we didn't really have too many, I didn't really get too many teammates in these runs. I did have, the only other guy I had was Belphegor, who kind of stuck with it. And that's how you learn. That's obviously how you guys learn. You do more of it, you'll learn. And you'll get better. And that's the only thing I can say, really. On running this and knowing, like, you know, like the ins and outs and how to run it. You have to run the thing. I think that's one of the main keys people forget. Like, it's like they will watch a lot of legendary content on YouTube and whatnot, but I'm like, the main key thing, my friend, is that you have to run the mission. That's the only way you'll get your money's worth out of it, and you'll get your experience. Because you'll get a lot of experience. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys watching me, and don't stop watching. Highly appreciate. But I mean, by you running the mission, it's like it's gonna give you so much more experience than what I can even like tell you. If you just keep in mind what I'm telling you, though, you'll have a lot of success. You'll have success in the mission, or you'll find the top key ways to get that success in the mission, or and also help others in your team get that success. If you just just follow like the key guidelines. I mean, I do have my membership. You guys can sign up for that too. It's up to you. You can run with me personally, and we can definitely go ahead and run whatever you want. At the same time, I could teach you some stuff, show you like a few tactics, tell you a few things, if you wanted. It's just up to you. So I know a lot of people, some people don't like just simply being just carried through a certain area. They want to kind of know, what it is, how you're able to do that, and just how to move certain things. But there's no issues with that. No issues with that at all. For anybody that does join the respective community, no issues at all with it. So that's always good. I always just present that there. I keep presenting that throughout videos, just for those of you that would like to view that. But on that note, though, this was a great video. I'm glad I was able to show you guys this. Those of you that are new to Legendary, those of you struggling with Legendary, most importantly for you guys, but for anybody else, I guess, that also wants to view it. Hope you guys learned something from this too. Hope you got a key insight out of it. And that's the main name of the game, is that I'm just trying to show you that Summit is a good testing ground to begin Legendary. If you're struggling with Legendary missions, you keep dying, go into the Summit. Do not go back into the Legendary mission. Go to the Summit and just work on your build. Work on your team mechanics, your movement, your know-how. Learn the enemies. Get used to the strength of each of the enemies. When they push, when they spam nades, spam drones, like what they're trying to do here right now. Just get used to those things, and then once you're used to that and you're refurbished and everything and you're ready to go back into Legendary again. You'll see a lot. You'll be surprised at the success you see from yourself. I'm not even saying you even have to dominate and beat the mission. I'm just saying you'll see success from yourself. You'll see yourself probably do something, get out of a rut, save a teammate, revive them. You'll be like, man, I don't even know how I did that time. But you know what? I kind of do know how I did that, because I was, I learned better how to utilize my build via the Summit. I learned how to move. I know how these enemies move. I know most likely what their tactics are when they're launching stuff at you. I know how to use the walls, the areas to my advantage for movement, for safety, for cover, different things. How to move, how to make the AI move, you can learn a lot, like in the Summit. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. Like in Legendary missions and stuff, it's the little things. That's what matters the absolute most. That's between life and death and winning. It's just the smaller things. Like in the last mission, you guys saw me run with Legendary Roosevelt, how I threw the hive in order to help my team to the boat. It's just those little small things that help assist them. Not saying that they wouldn't have made it otherwise or whatnot, but I definitely made it easier. By doing that, you make things easier. So by knowing those things, it's always great. Okay, so we're finishing up right here, floor 69. Our goal was to get to floor 70. I believe we started on floor 62, 63. So this is 8 directives, a random agent with 8 directives, guys. Legendary Summit, 8 directives, a random agent. And we just literally did 6 to 7 floors right now. Just moving up with 8 directives, and I don't know them. I've never played with them. Don't know their chemistry. Don't know anything about them in that sense. I just know that they're just an agent that plays Division 2. They're a solid agent, and they're ready and up and willing and ready for a task, an elite task. And that's just showing you that, as I said before, something can be done. I wish I had a full group, but I didn't even. I got another agent, obviously, John Wick joined us, but like I said, just showing you guys. I mean, we had 3 agents here, obviously. I was kind of equating to when I was running with Belfagor alone leading up to this, but John Wick did join, so that's actually 3. And we're still doing it, guys, still doing it comfortably with 8. And you do know that obviously it does scale to the number of agents you have. So obviously this Legendary for this room scaled just a little much with John Wick joining, having 3. But it was a great showcase. There it is, 69, floor 69 cleared. Thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. YouTube channel Life's a Game, as I'm writing right there. It's just kind of just showcasing some of the ways how to move throughout Legendary Summit. You want to know the ins and outs. You see this whole room right here? Like when you're fighting enemy, you want to use these rooms to your advantage. They have so many areas, and I think that's why the devs have to play spaced out like that. It's still close quarters, and you doing that, you get used to it. So just knowing that, it always helps. But using a build that I beat Legendary for Director Manning Zoo isn't bad either. But thank you guys. Life's a Game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day.